Right, I think everybody's in at the moment. So welcome to the Southwest IIRSM presentation this afternoon. I'll go through some details in a minute, but before we kick off the presentation and do the introductions, I would just like to say thank you for your time and joining us this afternoon. I'll just like to do a quick plug for new innovation that the Southwest Group has launched, and that is a WhatsApp group for the IIRSM Southwest branch. And on it, it was launched this week, and it is a WhatsApp group, and it's a place for where you can go and connect with other members within the region. We can ask questions and of sort of within our group around and share challenges in health, safety, and risk management. And get that support around membership. And this is what this presentation is about this afternoon, is around the IIRSM membership and the benefits that you can have from being a member. And the part of the WhatsApp group is being able to be signposted to those different things and the resources within the IIRSM. So like I say, if you are within the Southwest area and it is of interest, then please look out for or check your emails, because there was a flyer or a email that went out yesterday, I think it was, but please check your inboxes. I mean, if you haven't got it, then please leave a message on the on this presentation, and we'll get you a link over to you this afternoon. Just a few things around housekeeping before we start the presentation is please put your microphones on mute. This session is being recorded, and it will be available on YouTube in the very near future, probably within a couple of days. So I would like to introduce Joanne from the IIRSM North Eastern Cumbria branch, Eastern Cumbria branch chair, and she's also a IIRSM ambassador. And our presentation this afternoon is Unlocking the Value of IIRSM Membership, Your Path to Professional Growth. So Jo, over to you. Thank you.
Great, thanks, Simon. Let me just share my screen, so hopefully everybody will get to see the presentation. So can you see that okay, Simon, before I get started? Excellent, great. So thank you to the branch for inviting me here today, and to Simon, and welcome to everyone. Firstly, I would like to thank you all for attending. Hopefully I'm welcoming both members and non-members. So by way of introduction, my name is Joanne Price. By day, I'm an independent consultant working with clients in the implementation of management systems. As Simon's mentioned, I am a member myself of IIRSM, and I'm one of many volunteers helping support this great professional body. I'm the chair of North Eastern Cumbria branch, but also, as Simon's mentioned, I do have that privilege of being a member of the IIRSM's Ambassador Network. The Ambassadors Network is fairly new. It was finalised in November 2024, and it's made up of 11 members. And our key purpose is to actively support the work of the Institute in achieving the strategic vision and mission. So our aim today is to remind those of you that are already members, the benefits that come with your membership, and maybe some things that you are not aware of. And for those of you that are not currently members of IIRSM, we hope that this will show you what we have to offer, and hopefully then you'd like to join us. So what do we offer? So as a professional body, and how are we actually going to achieve this? We are the International Institute of Risk and Safety Management. And I'd just like to highlight one of those words in our name, and that's risk. To me, this is what makes our professional body different. We're not just supporting the safety profession, but extending our reach and support to other business areas where risk has to be taken into account. So yes, safety is a key area, but what about other areas within your business, such as maybe cybersecurity, quite recently in a lot of the news? So I'll leave you to think about your organisation, its operational and strategic risks, and who actually is looking after those. So our vision. Our vision is to be a future of thriving organisations within which people feel safe, supported, and empowered to identify and manage risks, protecting their environments and, of course, lives. Our mission is to drive the holistic evolution of risk management in organisations through education and protecting people through our unique communities. But to achieve this, our members need to have a core set of values. I'd like you to reflect on these values. Firstly, honesty. We need to ensure that trust is built between ourselves and those that we are working with. And this is achieved through responsible actions and creating those authentic relationships. Being adaptable. So, how many times has something come across your desk or that phone call you've taken which changes what you're doing and how your day is going to pan out? As professionals in risk and safety management, we need to adapt quickly and challenge ourselves. But one key thing is we need to be collaborative. We need to be able to collaborate. We shouldn't be working in silos. We need to work as a community to help each other thrive. And by being able to collaborate, to be able to do that effectively, we need to be approachable, being open, helpful, and accessible to all. In an organisation, we're probably one of the few professionals that has to engage at all levels, whether that's from the C-suite to the shop floor. And finally, respect. We need to treat people with care, dignity, and professionalism. So I'm going to speak about IIRSM's membership, who we are, how to be part of our community, and the benefits. As I said, the International Institute of Risk and Safety Management is a UK-based professional membership organisation, but we have a global footprint. We help individuals and organisations all around the world to feel safe, to feel supported, and empowered to raise and manage risks, protecting their environments and lives. We are an independent educational and membership body, and we have a global community of in excess of 8,000 individuals. It's a lot of support and knowledge that you have at your fingertips. Our community and members are united around a common desire to use risk management to make better decisions in business, both in operations, but also strategically. Our members work in all areas of risk at every level, playing a vital role in keeping people and organisations safe, healthy, and resilient. If I think about some of the sectors I work within, they include the oil and gas industry, engineering, retail, telecoms. They're just a few. And if you think about those, they're very differing industries, yet considering risk and safety applies to all of them. So as IIRSM, we provide practical education, resources, sharing of experiences and networking to help people and organisations identify and manage risk to succeed in the challenges that face us. So utilising this network is really important. And it's really important to me. So that's why I volunteer for my local branch. Not only can I support other members locally and globally, this network has also supported me and helped with my development. Our professional membership body is here to help you develop both professionally and personally and to achieve your career aspirations. So, what is risk and why actually manage it? Maybe a question many of you get asked by your organisations. The perception can be that risk management is just for big business, and others think it's only about what might go wrong. In fact, managing risk effectively isn't just about big business or money or what might go wrong. It's primarily about people, communication, trust, and opportunity. Managing risk effectively is about investing in your people, progressing projects, improving performance. We can only do that by creating these clear communications, setting expectations, and setting goals. We need to empower teams, our suppliers, our stakeholders, and peers. But let's take advantage of those opportunities. Let's develop the right behaviours and organisational culture. So our members are not just health, safety and environment people, nor are they simply experts in quality, sustainability, governance, security, compliance, and audit. Instead, they work in all fields at every level. We support people from those just starting out in their careers to those already leading the way. We very much believe in having that inclusivity, that diversity of community, and that helps us provide a much richer learning and networking opportunities. Yes, traditional risk management is about managing a list of so-called risks, those bad things that might happen. But risk management is really about increasing the likelihood of achieving your objectives, no matter your area of work. Risk management helps you ask the right questions, assess the answers, and make better decisions. Risk management is about effective management, from developing strategies, making projects happen, and also the many day-to-day decisions we all have to make. So I'm a second career risk and safety management professional. I did not sit down at school with a careers teacher and say, I want to go into management system implementation. I wasn't that child. Instead, I said, I want to be a scientist. So we sat down, looked at my interests, looked at my educational expectations, and mapped out a plan. That plan worked out eventually, following some exam hiccups, but I actually did become that scientist. In fact, a geneticist to be precise. I was fortunate to travel the world, installing genetic imaging systems, developing software, delivering training, and creating supporting documentation. That's how I found myself moving into management system implementation and ultimately risk and safety management. By looking at the skills I had and the gaps in my knowledge, I realised that my educational journey was going to be an ongoing process. Every day is a learning opportunity. Acknowledging the gaps in your understanding is not a weakness, but an opportunity. And this is where our risk management and leadership competency framework comes in. IIRSM's risk management and leadership competency framework sets out the expectations of what it means to be a competent person, to identify, manage, and communicate risk in whatever form. These competencies underpin the criteria to be a member and our training and development activities. We purposely develop the framework with competencies that are present in a generic way. This therefore enables users to apply it to their own area of work, recognizing there are many people working in risk from different industries and geographical locations. This provides a flexible and more inclusive way of being able to be part of IIRSM. For example, the framework can support a health and safety professional to improve their risk competence, to make better decisions around managing health and safety risks, whilst at the same time support them to understand the risks, both threats and opportunities beyond their area of work and the impact of their decisions on the wider organisation. Managers of risk should have the ability to identify, manage and communicate risk within their area of work and beyond. As mentioned earlier, the benefits of this framework and the ability to manage risk well equally applies to big and small business, public and private. Plus, risk management is a highly transferable skill to any industry, geographical location, job role. All the core principles equally apply. So our framework is set out at 3 levels. Firstly, operational. So having the knowledge and understanding with some level of application within an organisation. Then there's managerial, clearly being able to apply this knowledge. And then strategic, providing reasoned advice with increased complexity. Each of these levels underpins a professional grade of IIRSM's membership and the expected levels of competence, skills, and experience that needs to be demonstrated. Our framework includes technical competencies, leadership behaviours, and business insights, as we believe a well-rounded risk professional needs all three, and they are all equally apply. It can be argued that leadership behaviours perhaps maybe matter more. For example, there's no point having all this technical ability if you cannot communicate or influence those that matter. I'm a great believer in the power of developing leadership skills. It doesn't matter what position you are within your business, at some point, you will take on a leadership role. Whether that is leading a project team of 2 or chairing a board meeting, if you're able to collaborate and communicate, just 2 of the leadership competencies shown here, you are in a great position to have a positive impact. So let's take a quick look at our member journey. Depending on your experience and qualifications, you may start this journey at a different point from someone else. It's your journey. For now, though, we will start at the beginning. So we have student membership. So membership, £10 per year for those studying any risk-related qualification. Benefits are all digital, plus you get the ability to connect and network with a global community. And students also do receive a discount on professional membership when they apply. There is affiliate membership. Again, this membership is digital, and it is ideally for those who want to connect with our members and access online resources and advice. It's very relevant if you're working as a risk and safety champion within your organisation, maybe starting a career in risk, or simply you want to belong to a leading risk professional body. We move further on to our journey in those 3 professional grades for those pursuing a career in risk, safety, and many other risk-related disciplines. So we have our associate members at the operational level. At associate level, we are typically interested in how an individual provides support, advice, and guidance to others across an organisation or projects. If you're working as a consultant, that doesn't stop you from being an associate member. You're there in a support function, maybe we're in a project or looking at the organisation's wide objectives. Then the member, a managerial level. So at member level, we're typically expecting an individual to be managing operational change and playing a major role in contributing to policy development and maybe responsible for managing risks within an area of responsibility. You could be working on organisational wide projects and objectives, again, for your organisation on behalf of a client. And then the fellow. This is at strategic level. So a fellow level, you would be combining strategic insight, risk expertise, business acumen, and put the well-being of your people at the forefront to drive both individual and organisational performance. If you're looking at starting out on this journey or simply want to move along this pathway, please contact the membership team. They're there to help you. I know when I personally started my IIRSM journey, they were extremely supportive and great to have a chat with to discuss exactly which way you should actually move things forward. So why should you join or be a member of IIRSM and become part of our community? So before I highlight some of our key benefits of being a member, this slide just provides a summary of reasons why it's worth getting involved. And I must admit, I have to keep reminding myself the added value and what I have access to from being a member. Yes, I've not had to use all of these benefits so far, but I know they're there as and when I need to. So you have use of your IIRSM designatory letters, each relate to the membership level. The Sentinel, IIRSM's acclaimed membership magazine. A mentoring scheme, I'm going to cover that in a short time. Networking opportunities with branches both UK and internationally. Access to free employment law and health and safety advice line. There's a free legal help desk covering UK law only. Access to technical networks, to member-only content and regular e-newsletter updates. Exclusive free access to professional development webinars. You could join a IIRSM community such as the Emerging Risk Leaders, for that more focused support and profiling opportunities. Access to all networks and community outputs and publications. Monthly newsletters packed with news and dates for your diary. And one tip from me, when that newsletter comes through in your inbox, don't just, I'll have a look at it later. Maybe take that time out, look at the events that are being advertised and get registered. It's then in your diary as a reminder and also can contribute to your CPD. And of course, for those of you looking at changing careers, access to job listings from IIRSM partners. Quite a vast array of benefits here. Really importantly, learning from other industries and those working in different areas of risk that can really add value to you in your current job and achieving your future career aspirations. So let's look at some of these core benefits of being a member. Firstly, our mentoring scheme. We have many examples of our mentoring relationships crossing geographical boundaries. For example, our mentee here is based in Egypt and the mentor is in the UK. They both learned a huge amount from each other, especially as they were from different industries, countries, and stages within their career. Often people think a mentoring scheme only benefits the mentee, but from my own experience, the time I have given has been paid back time and time again from the opportunity. Often a fresh pair of eyes questioning the way things are done can make you also look at things differently. It gives you time out to reflect. So if you want to join the mentoring scheme as either a mentee or mentor, please contact the team for more details. We regularly run exclusive, member-free and topical online events and webinars. And these webinars are delivered by industry leaders and are aimed to support our competency framework and your own continued professional development. These sessions are grouped into 4 series. We have career support, so that's very much focusing on career development. Focus, in-depth look at a particular topic, a given topic. Then we have leadership, those attributes and skills that you need to be a successful leader. And finally, people and psychology. How do we get the best out of ourselves and others? If you do miss any of our online events and are unable to watch live, you can find them in our member resource hub, which is exclusive to members. Our branches play a vital role in bringing members together locally to network or virtually by online meetings such as today's. They're there to discuss the topics that are relevant to you, enable you to share experiences and support each other in your current and future roles. Our branches are run by volunteers who are supported by an amazing team from IIRSM. As mentioned at the start, I'm the chair of the North Eastern Cumbria branch. But why did I get involved? To be honest, I am someone that can't stand at the sidelines asking, what is the branch doing for me? I believe if you think you can make a difference and can influence change and improvements, then get involved. Don't just stand at the sidelines looking in. As I mentioned already, branches are run by volunteers and they are there for the members. However, we need feedback to ensure that we are delivering what our members want. So here's my personal request, please get involved. Whether that's just filling out the next survey to hit your email, whether it's offering your time to present a webinar, we're always looking for speakers, or joining the committee. Volunteering is a very rewarding and I highly recommend it. It's amazing the people you get to meet whilst doing it. For me, the standout moment was being the warm-up act for Sir Lenny Henry. Not an opportunity I would have thought I would get unless I was a volunteer. And only this week, I reached out to fellow chairs of IIRSM for some guidance on lone working apps. Without my involvement in IIRSM, this access to an extended support network wouldn't have been there. And boy, did they come back to me and support me. So at IIRSM, we do offer a range of training courses, forums, and educational events throughout the year. Through our training programs, we aim to build competent and talented individuals, teams, and organisations. By attending training courses, we develop your practical risk management knowledge and skills. There are 3 levels of learning: introductory, intermediate, and advanced, which are all linked to our professional standards and offer CPD points. All of the courses are delivered by experienced experts within the field of safety and risk. In summary, our training programs develop skills and knowledge, offer a range of courses, and we're currently developing a level 3 regulated qualification, which I will mention shortly. As said, there are CPD points, and courses are delivered through highly experienced and competent trainers, and they do underpin the essentials within IIRSM's risk management and leadership competency framework. So as part of our commitment to building confident, capable professionals, IIRSM offers 2 flagship courses, including Managing Risk the Essentials, which is for everyone that needs to be able to manage risk irrespective of role and seniority, and Managing Health and Safety Risk the Essentials. And that provides an essential understanding of why employees should manage health and safety risk. A summary of both of these courses can be seen on the slide here, and further details available on the IIRSM website. If you want to take your knowledge further, IIRSM have also partnered with NEBOSH, who I'm sure many of you will know as the UK awarding body for HSE programmes. We work very closely with them and are currently jointly working to develop a level 3 risk qualification that is globally applicable, relevant for any job, role, and provides learners the ability to gain truly transferable skills that can be applied in any organisation, industry, and geographical location. The qualification will help learners be better equipped to identify, evaluate, manage, and communicate on risk. Those studying the qualification, it will help them to analyse the environment in which the organisation operates, identifying potential risk and opportunities, and the impact on your objectives. Assist in mastering the essential principles of risk management and the links to decision making. Start having the right and timely conversations about risk with different stakeholders. Appreciate the importance of an integrated approach to risk management. Appreciate the relationship between psychology and decision making. Can help understand the risk management process and framework based on ISO 31000. By means of background, it's a specific ISO standard that looks at the principles and guidelines for risk management. It'll help appreciate the positive role risk management plays in strategy development, business planning, and achievement of objectives, and understand that vital role of people and culture to act on risk. So if anyone's interested, this qualification is under development and members are being invited to take part in a pilot, which should be around over the next month or so. Again, please contact IIRSM if you're actually interested in taking part in that pilot. And then finally, one of our main benefits, our magazine, The Sentinel, and it actually often comes out on the top of our membership benefit surveys. And I've been told before some members even join just for the subscription alone. The magazine provides you with insightful risk management news and utilises leading authors to provide well-researched, value-added, quality content. Each issue is packed full of features on a range of risk topics, case studies, news, and essential reading for everyone, from those entering the workforce to senior decision makers. So for those of you that scan backgrounds during these type of sessions, you'll actually see a copy of the Sentinel over the desk behind me. What you can't see are the copies dating back to circa 23, 24 that are on the shelves below. And I often flick through old copies as a refresher, looking for related articles to support work that I'm currently undertaking. Great value, really well worth a read. But you know what? Read, read again. It's amazing what you can come back to at a later date. So IIRSM are keen to ensure those risk and safety professionals who are currently not part of our global community have the opportunity to join to benefit from our products, initiatives and services, as well as benefit from being part of a local branch or network. We also want to ensure that our current members take advantage of all the benefits your membership offers you. As I said before, there's probably more there than you actually realised. So for those of you that are not currently a member, all you need to do is apply online, and the web address is on the slide being shown here. If anyone's got any questions about the benefits, what their membership's about, need any help or support, again, please do actually contact the membership team. They are there to help you. So it does bring me to the end of my presentation and time for any questions that people have. So I will stop sharing screen and hand over to Simon.
Yeah, thank you very much for that, Joanne. It is very, very good. And yeah, the Sentinel magazine, I get, I must get magazines on a daily basis within my professional role, but the Sentinel magazine is one I make a point of reading. So the others not so, but Sentinel definitely, because
Yeah.
I share your sentiment that it is very useful. We have got some questions, which is always good. Please drop your questions in the on the chat, or come off your microphone. But if I could just do these questions first, and then I'll open the floor to any more questions. So I've got a question from Tony. Thank you, Tony. He's actually asked a couple of questions, but the first one is there a profession pathway or a path to chartership at all? Does a chartered risk manager title exist?
I'm not part of the membership team, but from a chartered point, at the moment, IIRSM doesn't have a charter membership. As to whether that is in the pipeline, that would have to be something directed to the membership team.
Okay. And then Tony's second question was, while a great association, does associating with NEBOSH automatically create a false assumption that it is H&S specific rather than business risk management as a whole?
It's to be honest, when you do look at NEBOSH's website and the offering they have, there is more to them than just health and safety. I know myself that I've done an awful lot of work with NEBOSH courses on things like environmental leadership. So there is actually more to NEBOSH than just health and safety. So therefore, that alignment wouldn't necessarily mean that people are just thinking we're focusing, because we've had quite a number of discussions. I know Sam and I certainly have, over what makes us very different is that risk piece. Is we are the professional body that is looking at not just safety, health. We are looking at all the various other risks within a business, which can be very, very varied.
I actually did do the risk management course, and I found it a couple of years ago now, but I think I was one of the first ones to do it. But I found it very, very good, and even though it's much like we are today, that even though that we think we know everything about the sort of IIRSM membership and whatnot, there's always something to learn, and there's something we forget. There's something to be reminded of. So it's quite refreshing to do. And if anybody's not done it, and if you're looking for something for your development this year, then I would recommend definitely at least taking a look at it. Okay, moving on. So Elroy has asked a question: can you outline the membership pathway from member IIRSM to fellowship IIRSM?
What I would suggest is actually, if you contact membership, they do actually send a pack out. So that pack actually gives you all of the information. I don't have it to hand at the moment, but again, if anyone wants to sort of drop me a line, I can forward on the relevant address, or if Julie is able to drop that into the chat. But when you do contact membership about progressing to the next stage, they are extremely supportive, and they do provide you with quite a pack which provides you with exactly what you need to do to take that next step forward. I think that in itself is probably a complete separate session, because it's quite detailed, but I would certainly contact membership in the first instance to get a copy of that pack, so that'll help you guide you way through to the next step.
And I would also add to that, if anybody is looking to progress from being a member to a fellowship within the IIRSM, is take a look at the mentorship program.
Yes.
Because
yeah, there are There are lots of people out there that are really definitely willing to help those, and I myself are currently looking at that because I'm a member, and my next natural stage is to go for fellowship. So certainly I'm, reaching out to people in my branch, into other branches, for those that are there to help, to mentor, to help you, support you through that next stage.
Definitely. Okay, just a couple more. How do you see professional bodies like IIRSM evolving to meet the needs of future safety and risk professionals?
For me, it's actually listening to our members
Mm.
and what our members also need. We can only develop and understand by speaking to members and then speaking to organisations that we work with. Um, at the end of the day, it is a member organisation. If we're very speaking very much to organisations, professionals out there to see how we can ensure we don't stand still. Um, one big move is actually the creation of the ambassador network. That didn't exist up until November 2024 when the group got together. And our role as ambassadors is to listen and is to help actually look at the strategic direction in which IIRSM is actually moving. So certainly to help them is that listening, and is then working at how we can strategically place ourselves to make the most of everything that we need to be. The aim is not to stand still at the end of the day.
I would agree on that as well, definitely. And what advice would you give to a new member looking to get to the most out of their membership?
So for me is actually reach out to your local network. Um, Certainly when I started back in my professional career, um, my local network was my first port of call. There are an amazing group of people out there that can actually will support people in their progression, whether that's actually just from advice of how each person's moved their career through and developed, whether that's making connections. It's amazing, the people I over the years I've got to know that I've I've basically asked questions of, sought advice from, and that have helped me basically guide me through my profession. So for me, it's always the local branch is great. It really, really is. There's some people out there, and as Simon's mentioned, using things like the WhatsApp group to be able to put your questions in there to get a response. Look at the website. Actually, have to take the time out to look at the resources. There are lots and lots of webinars that are on the YouTube channel that you can link to look back at previous presentations. So again, if you're developing, I would go, if there's a topic of interest, go and watch some of those webinars as well. Um, have a look at the website, tap into those resources. Um, Attend as many webinars as you can. Not always easy. We've got a day job to do. But certainly for me, when that email comes through with the various different events, and Simon and I were talking about this before the session started, you know, I register. I get it, it's in my diary. And if I can make that time to sit to listen in, I may not be always able to interact because of where I'm located. That's starting to build my skill set. It's starting to let me to see what opportunities there are out there. And really be truthful with yourself about your competency. It's not bad to say I don't know. As a consultant, I am never going to know everything, but I know a lot of people that can help me, a lot of people that I can call upon to support me or to support my clients. And the best thing you can do is say I don't know if you don't know. So by doing that gap analysis, looking at the competency framework, looking to see where you maybe need to make improvements, and then map those out and work with somebody. And again, maybe join the mentoring scheme to help you fill those gaps, or look at resources, contact the local branch, contact your other networks that are out there to fill those gaps. But please don't be ever afraid to say, I actually don't know the answer to this, because believe you me, I've been in this industry for 30 plus years, and I know I definitely don't know everything, and things are developing quickly. So it's always good to know what those gaps are and try and fill them as best as possible. If it's not with your own knowledge, but those that you can call upon to assist you with it.
That would be my experience as well. If you don't know what the answer is, within a network like the IIRSM, there'll be somebody somewhere that will know that answer. So it's just asking that question.
Yeah. And don't be afraid to.
Yeah.
It's not a sign of weakness whatsoever. If anything, it's a sign of a good professional if you're able to put your hand up and say, I'm asking a question.
Absolutely. Okay, I've got no more questions on the chat, and I've got no other questions here. So is Andy, who's part of our Southwest committee, anything sort of come your way, Andy, there?
Yeah, good presentation. I enjoyed that. I fully agree with don't be afraid to say, I don't know.
Yeah.
At least you can say, I don't know, but I mean, double IIRSM, so I can find somebody who does know.
Exactly, yeah.
No, the question I've got is looking internationally. Does double IIRSM have any reciprocal agreements with other organizations for joint membership? Sort of being member double IIRSM allows you to join another at some
Yeah. So at present, there aren't any formal reciprocal arrangements in place. However, many national and international professional bodies do recognise IIRSM membership. Some may require a specific level for certain roles, because you know, from organisation to organisation, they very much can have their own criteria as to what they require from somebody. So there isn't any automatic or formal agreement, but as a body that is recognised globally, very much there are organisations that do, you know, will do recognise your IIRSM membership. What I would say is, you know, if you're applying for a role, or you want to look at another membership body, tell them you're a member of IIRSM, what grade you're actually at, and they will be able to advise directly if any recognition that they have in connection with that.
Lovely. Thanks very much. Thanks.
Brilliant. I'm going to open the floor. If anybody wants to come off mic and off the microphone and ask Joanne a question, and please do so, or drop something in the chat. I'll just do another quick no, nothing else in the chat at the moment, or raise your hands. We'll give it a minute.
Well, I will say why anybody wanted to raise the hand. As I said in the presentation, when I went through the whole list of all the benefits, I probably did surprise myself at things that were in that list that I wasn't fully aware of. Because very often, unless you're calling upon it, like Sentinel, because that arrives, you know, through the post, or in my email, you know, every couple of months, I'm very aware of that, and to be able to tap into that as a resource. And then suddenly, as I'm going through the list, went, of course, yeah, I've got access to advice. So again, if you know, where we would talk about calling upon your network, there's the advice line there to also to make use of. And I'd not necessarily forgotten, but I'd park that in, you know, elsewhere in my knowledge to sort of know there. And it's as I was going through, so I'd also keep refreshing, look at the benefits. They're often developing. There's more getting added as time goes on, and make use of them if you need to.
Definitely. Thank you, Joe. It doesn't look like anybody's got any questions. There's nothing else on the chat. No, can't see anybody with a raised hand or anything. So I think
I've got off lightly, is what you're saying.
Yeah, got off lightly. But brilliant, Joe. Thank you very, very much for joining us this afternoon and doing the presentation. And you know, let's say it's always good to know, being a member of a professional organisation, just that reminder about what is available and the pathways to how you progress to fellowship, membership, fellowship. So it's really, really good. And thank you for your time. So I'm going to draw this to a close. I'll give one last chance for any questions, but no movement at all. So I think we're all good to finish. So Joe, thank you very much, and thank you all for joining us this afternoon.
No, thank you, and please do volunteer. Make use of you know, your time, and if you can, heartfelt plea from chairs of branches, you know, and even if that's just as a speaker, if you're able to just give an hour of your time at some point, that would be great. You know, we'd love to hear from the actual members themselves rather than just those experts that are out there as well. We've got plenty in our membership.
That's very true. Brilliant. Thank you, Joe.
Thank you very much, everybody. Lovely to see you all.
Bye-bye.